once again, ladies and gentlemen, Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, we hit the high banks at Daytona International Speedway for Superior Class Auto Racing, presented to you by Mug Root Beer. Tonight's Red Dot Storage 200, and I am David Worrell up in the booth, bringing you all the calls from high above this wonderful track, and I've been joined once again this week by Justin Napier. Justin, how you doing out there?
I'm doing good. Thank you, Dave, for having me in the booth tonight. I'd like to thank the league for allowing me to be in the booth tonight. I had a lot of fun last week, and I'd like to try it again. So we have a great race going on here tonight at Daytona.
That we do, and just a little bit under 6 minutes remaining here in the happy hour. Quentin Murdoch and his 00 sitting on top of the speed charts. Steve Murdoch right there behind him, so I believe that is the father-son duo getting the job done so far here in happy hour, but y'all know happy hour doesn't necessarily translate into the race. 3 stages here tonight, Justin. Lap 25 and lap 50. We will have 2 stage breaks, so we know the drivers can take a breather then, but being a driver that's ran with these guys, how much of a breather do you think these guys are really going to take out there tonight?
When that green flag drops, none. I think they're going to get about 10 laps on the green flag run. They'll start calming down. They'll start riding it out. It'll be like sitting in traffic. And then it's going to get real exciting at the end of the stages here.
Yeah, I expect nothing less. We always have great action no matter what track we hit, but I'm a big fan of restrictor plate racing, so I just absolutely love it when we get to come here to Daytona, whether it's in the daytime, a little bit slippery, and you slide around a little bit more. Maybe is it the 07 or the 11 version, the very bumpy version of Daytona here on iRacing.com. So I'm just a big fan and can't wait to see what these drivers can do. But let's hit the point standings here, get some official business out of the way. Your points being sponsored by Mug Root Beer, Little Tate's Cupcakes, and Cameron Hagman Photography. Case and Plot sitting on top of the points right now. 26 points ahead of David Bradford. Jason Spear right there in third. John Ballou, or as everybody else likes to call him and know him by, Channing Ballou right there in the fourth spot. And Colt Ansley is going to round out the top 5. Colt moving up in the points. Bobby Hamilton Jr. dropping 1 spot out of that top 5 into the top 6 this week. So a very close battle still being had out there, and it is we've only reached about halfway through the season, Justin. I think we're in for a big championship battle this season.
And with the winners of the season being so far, as Kaysen has 2 wins, David Bradford with 1 win, Will Jones with 2, and Chris Mathis with 1. Do you think we're going to have a brand new winner tonight, Dave?
Well, it's a restrictor plate race, and anybody that's ever been in them, Justin, you know all you got to be is in it at the end, and you got a chance to win it. So I'm going to roll with, we're going to have a new winner, or first-time winner. I'm going to go with a first-time winner. Let's go with the season. Yeah, I believe it's going to be one of the guys that have been riding here with the Superior Class Auto Racing drivers for a little while, so I would expect one of the veterans, so to speak, to come away with the race win here tonight.
Well, you know what's really interesting is that they had a practice on Monday night, last night actually, and the race winner actually was my father, Jeff Napier, who won by getting through the last lap wreck.
That's a heck of a job right there, and I tell you what, you better have a heck of a Father's Day gift in hand after not remembering your dad's name. Just gonna say.
Well, you know what? I helped him get the sim racing rig, so I think we're about even right now. But I might get him something nice. Something he'd appreciate. Maybe a new shifter, maybe a new wheel. You never know.
I hear you, bud. Well, with all that being said, just about 2 minutes remaining here in happy hour. We're gonna step away for just a brief moment. We'll be back with all of your qualifying action live here on Turn 3 Racing Network from Daytona International Speedway. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Hi, I'm Johnny with Little Tate's Cupcakes. Thanks for tuning in to tonight's race on the Turn 3 Network. Little Tate's Cupcakes is a bakery based out of Owensboro, Kentucky. We specialize in cookies, cakesicles, cakes, and cupcakes for every occasion. Make sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram for more of our work and for daily specials. Go number 5.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Final seconds running out on happy hour. Qualifying will begin. There you see the yellow flag being displayed. Happy hour's over. Qualifying has begun. Who will jump out there first? Have a lot of cars out here tonight with us. Justin, looks like Mickey Spear on his way to his car. Mike Jr. out there on track, the first car out there on track, so he's going to be the first one to put down a timed lap. We'll ride around with that 74 of Mikey Yellow Jr. Ryder Struve also hitting the track. Quentin Murdoch, Alan Dufries, also Brian Mescal Jr. in his 33 making another appearance at the track. Daryl Spear also by his car.
Well, guys, in the track right now, a lot of guys here are really good at qualifying. I know Chris Mathis, he's always been a top qualifier. David Bradford, Channing Ballou, those guys like their restrictor plate racing, and they're very good at qualifying here.
And as we've got a lot of drivers out there on track, we'll cycle through a few of them as nobody's going to put down a time lap for about another minute and a half or more. So interesting to see the amount of cars that we have just kind of hanging out, chilling on pit road, not really worried about going out there and putting down a timed lap here and qualifying. I'm one of those drivers that normally I don't like to qualify on a restrictor plate just because the draft is such a big equalizer.
Well, what's really interesting is that we're running 68 on the track and 70 degrees in air, and I wonder if any of these guys are kind of waiting it out, seeing if the track changes any bit at all with the little bit of time they have in a 5 minutes to make 2 laps.
Yeah, and it's going to be a close call. Those drivers sitting on pit road, they're going to have to start rolling out here in the next 10 to 15 seconds if they're going to want a shot at putting down both timed laps. As you mentioned, it is a very long out lap, and then it takes a while, about 50-something seconds or so about 2 minutes in itself to complete both of those timed laps. So if you're not out there by now, I don't think you're going to have a shot at it. The 74 sitting on top of the speed chart right now, holding down that provisional pole position. Will throw your qualifying order down there on the left-hand side of your screen so you can follow along just like we do up here in the booth. Steve Murdoch now taking that top spot. Quentin Murdoch was fastest in happy hour. He is sitting in 5th place right now on the speed charts. Brian Mescal Jr. yet to put in a timed lap. The 88 of Channing Ballou also yet to put in a timed lap. Jeff Napier out there 4th position, and Tommy McMullen right there in the 02 sitting in 3rd.
Mike just finishes his 2nd lap, coming in with a 47.466. Taking the pole position.
Mike being one of the first cars out there on track, he should be able to keep the pole position for a minute. Some of these other drivers going to put in their fastest time. Steve Murdoch not able to dethrone him that time by. Quentin Murdoch not able to get the job done either. As we jump back now with Alan Dufries as he's slow down the back stretch, not going to be able to steal that provisional pole position away. Daryl Spear sitting in his 32 machine right there at the edge of pit road. Can't see him. He's just behind the fence. Kason Plott in his 19 machine out there hugging that outside wall, trying to get as much speed and momentum built up in this thing. Can he go up there and dethrone that 74 here for the fastest lap in qualifying? Where's he going to shake out that time by? Only good enough for 11th. He's going to have to pick up the pace.
So, two-car of Hayes Booth picks up third position. 33 of Brian picks up the pole with a 47.403.
Yeah, very fast lap out of that 33 machine of Brian Maskell Jr. able to take the pole position away as it sits right now. Just a little under 1 minute remaining here in qualifying. Going to be a mad dash to see if anybody can dethrone that fast 33 machine. Not sure it's going to be able to be done as we keep our eye on this 19 of Kason Plott coming off of turn number 4 back through the tri-oval. Gonna cross the line, see where he shakes out. Good enough for second. Nobody gonna dethrone Brian Maskell Jr. as he takes away the pole position here tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna step down trackside for our nation's anthem. Join me, stay with me. We'll be right back.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, their boats bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
What a way to start off the evening here tonight at Daytona International Speedway for the Red Dot Storage 200 100 laps around this 2.48 mile track for the Superior Class Auto Racing drivers. And man, I tell you what, Justin, this is going to be one heck of a show. So let's get the show started. Jump down there, give you your qualifying grid, your starting grid. That is row number 1 inside, taking the pole position, the 33 of Brian Maskell Jr. Just to his outside, the 19 of Kason Plott. Row number 2, the 74 of Mike Yellow Jr. To his outside, the 2 of Hayes Booth. Row number 3, the 00 of Quentin Murdoch, and the 77 of Joshua Baker. Row number 4, the 88 of Channing Ballou, and the 53 of Steve Murdoch. Row number 5, the 23 of Mickey Spear, is rounding out your top 10, the 02 of Thomas McMullen.
Now your 11th place finisher is going to be Alan DeFries in the 71 car with Mark Truxell. In the same row on the outside, and number 5 car, Next row, 40 car, Jeff Napier. Outside, 58 of Ryder. Next row be 13 of Roy, with Will Jones of 56 on the outside. Number 80 of Brian Lilton on the inside, with the 51 of Jay on the outside. 18 Chris Mathis and Bobby Humpton Jr. will finish out that last row within the top 20.
6 of David Bradford, the 78 of J.D. Baker, row 12, the 83 of Jason Spear and Jason Baker, row 13, the 86 of Colt Ansley, and the 32 of Daryl Spear, and that will do it for your starting lineup as the pace truck. That Chevy Silverado looks great, but it gets out of the way, and green flag flies for the first time here tonight at Daytona International Speedway. Field down and away. Good start on the inside there by the 33 of Brian Mescal Jr. Field still double file as they head off into turn 1 for the first time.
A lot of spacing between the cars right now. That's pretty surprising coming into turn 1. I figure everybody be really bunched up.
Yeah, all the drivers looking to be a little bit calm early in the running here at Daytona International Speedway. Looks like everybody's just comfortable to get some laps led here. Not really wanting to push the issue too soon as we are just on lap 1. Coming out of turn 4 for the first time, Brian Mescal Jr., your pole sitter, still leads the field. Most of your top 10 single file down there hugging that double yellow line.
Looks like everybody's going to start working to the bottom line here. The top line ain't doing too much right now.
Looks like everybody's kind of fading back a little bit here. Doesn't look like the drivers are willing to get up there and do the side-by-side racing and the battling just yet. Got to go all the way back to, I believe, that is Case and Plot on the outside with Mark Truxell just behind him. Now a second lane beginning to slowly form up.
I wonder if Kaysen's decided to back off a little bit, wait till the end of the race. He's going to save his stuff.
And it looks like most of that outside lane now deteriorating almost completely as I believe that is about the top 15 all the way back there to Mark Truxell. No, that's about till your top 12. All down there single file trying to just log the laps early here at Daytona. One car ducking down on the apron, kind of just moving out of the way, and it looks like, can't quite get the number on that one. Looks like that is that 19 of Case and Plot. He is heading backwards, and I think this is a calculated move, Justin. I don't think there's an issue or a problem. I think he's just wanting to kind of stay out of harm's way.
I see Will Jones trying to make a high line work right here. He's got the 02 of Thomas McMullen backing him up. Looks like Mark Truxell is a little unsure whether he wants to go up there and work with the guys or not.
Yeah, and that's something to battle and fight with their mental state at different points in the race. How aggressive are you? How aggressive are you on the pushing? All of that is going to come into play eventually at some point in time throughout tonight's race, and everybody's got a friend until it's time to not. Oh, big wreck! Caution, and it looks like Ryder Struve involved in this one. Yellow flag flies. We'll see if we can't get that keyed up for you here in just a brief moment with our turn 3 replay. Gonna go back now and see if we can't capture that. Trying to look for it. And Ryder Struve, there you see that 58 with some damage. We'll back it up, see what we can see. Everything seems fine and dandy at this point in time. Halfway down the backstretch, heading into turn number 3, gets down on the apron. Oh, a little bit of net code, I believe it was. Sent one driver up into the outside wall, and then it was just chaos from there. A lot of drivers caught up in this one.
I tell you what, there's definitely a couple of drivers there that laid off that wish they weren't.
Yeah, that was one that maybe being in the rear of the field didn't pan out to be so well for you on that one. Not really a lot of time for these drivers to woe it up and get things settled down. So going to be an interesting little wrinkle here in the race. Caution very early in stage number 1, only lap number 5 out of the 80 laps scheduled here tonight. I'm not sure why I thought it was 100 laps. That's interesting. I can't count though, Justin, so heck, don't blame me.
Well, that's okay. We don't have to count in this. We can just look at the numbers here. But I'm not surprised to see that nobody, none of the front runners really pitted. I mean, they didn't get any damage. They didn't, really use much tires in 5 laps. So why pit? Obviously, if you got damage, you're going to be down the pits. So we got a lot of people in the pits for damage.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's better to happen early, but you never really want it to happen.
Yeah, definitely a lot of guys down here using their fast repair, and that's just not what you want to see on a restrictor plate, is use your fast repair so early in the race. I mean, one more wreck and you're out of this.
As the field stays behind this beautiful, beautiful pace truck we've got out there tonight. Not sure if anybody was listening throughout the league admins or anything, but I'm not a big fan of that Ford Mustang that's usually out there in front of the field, Justin. And hey, look at that. I've got me a pace truck this time.
I guess your answers were prayers were answered tonight, So, well, it's pretty awesome to have a Silverado out there. I can't believe it's going 80 mile an hour on these banks, but here we are. I was actually very surprised in that short run. We had the top 4. They were bumper to bumper. I actually expected the incident to come out of them versus in the back.
Yeah, well, I mean, it can happen anywhere, anytime, that's for sure. I'm sure we haven't seen the last of it either, especially when we get down towards the end of tonight's race. I believe real estate is going to be a premium, and you're going to have to toss your teammates or friends or however you want to label them. You're going to have to toss them to the side and just go after it, and hopefully their feelings aren't hurt too much at the end of the thing.
Well, it looks like we're going double wide here. We're about to go green, boys. Man, this is definitely making me hungry. I tell you what, Dave.
Oh, Lordy, jeez. Gosh, you made me lose my train of thought. Few drivers hitting pit road once again. It looked like, gosh, now I've lost it. David Bradford from 46 hit pit road for a second time under caution here tonight. So maybe topping off the tank, making sure he can get to the end of stage number 1. I'm not quite sure. Haven't heard from any other drivers on what the fuel mileage situation is in these cars out there tonight. So going to be interesting to see if all these drivers can make it from here.
It's interesting to see these strategies being played here tonight.
Field makes their way through the center of 3 and 4 double file for tonight's first restart. Brian Mescal Jr. able to keep that top spot since the drop of the green flag still leads the race as the field makes their way off of turn number 4. Pace truck gonna make the hard left-hand turn, and we will get set to fire this thing off one more time. 33 hits the gas, and away we go again. Inside lane, moving forward. No help for either of your top 2 runners. Now help beginning to gather behind both of them as they head off into turn number 1. Bottom is a little bit more organized, has more cars. Brian Mescal Jr. still leading the field, but Mike Miller Jr. out there in that 74 trying to make that outside lane work. Not sure if he's going to be able to do it. Drag race down the back stretch, heading off into turn number 3.
Wow, with a great drag race going on in the lead like that, it's surprising in that third row they don't want to get in on that action. It looks like they're laying off a little bit and like, you guys do your thing. We're gonna play it safe.
And a Hayes Booth, Mickey Spear right there. Second and third cars in the outside lane. Will Jones has found a way to get up towards the front. Fourth car inside row just behind that 53 of Steve Murdoch. But nobody able to get up there past Brian Steele Jr. as he has had that 33 up to the bottom and hooked up all race long so far as we work our way down the back stretch on lap number 9. 71 laps to go when we cross the line this time by.
Looks like Will Jones wanted to take it 3 wide there, but changed his mind going into turn 3 here. He looks like he's going for the lead. He's definitely moving quick.
A little bit more of a gap beginning to develop between your top runners. You got to go back just a little bit over a second between now the 9th position back to the 13th. He's got Brian Littleton in tow here right there about a 10th or so off of those drivers. Some smaller packs beginning to develop, and now they're all gonna start to come back together. We're gonna have one giant field once again, and most of the drivers, very interesting to see it. We've seen them all hit this lower lane earlier before they decided to go back too wide. Up there in the front, utilizing that high lane.
It looks like the 74 of Mike is definitely falling back here. He's getting freight train on that, staying on that high end there. High side.
And looking back through the field here, you can see a bigger second pack running that high lane back there. I believe that is being led by the 19 of Case and Plot back there in 16th position. He's got the 46 of David Bradford just in front of him. It looks like those drivers are a little bit more comfortable running here at Daytona as opposed to hugging that bottom line.
I'm definitely interested in watching Will Jones and Chris Mathis work together here. They always work together, and they're trying to make this high line work again. I wonder what they could do.
Well, we all know how restrictor plate racing goes. It may take a while, but eventually that high line will prevail. It may take Brian Mescal Jr. around trouble at the front. Almost up and over goes Brian Mescal Jr. Parts and pieces flying off of that car. Oh my goodness. Let's take a look back on our turn 3 replay. See what happened here. Brian Mescal Jr. leading the field down there on the bottom. Looks like maybe a bump gone wrong. Get another angle of it right here coming at you. See what happened down the back stretch, turning Brian Mescal Jr. up into the outside wall, and then chaos ensuing from there. Everything
He
still
hit that
looks
wall
good.
hard.
Ooh, big push, and around he goes. That caught up a lot of drivers. Will Jones caught up in that. I believe Jeff Napier, a ton of drivers caught up in that. So many, it kind of made the cameras whack out there for a second. Nonetheless, we will rejoin the field up at the front with your race leader. Oh my goodness, maybe we will.
Yeah, I got a feeling that's going to end a couple nights tonight. That's very unfortunate right there for it to be in the front.
And very, very early. That is a lot of drivers involved as we are at the front of the field with now your race leader, the 2 of Hayes Booth. Kind of the lucky recipient, able to duck and dodge his way to the front after that massive wreck.
I can't even imagine being a driver there, kind of feeling helpless going into the corner, just nowhere to go. I mean, there's cars everywhere. I mean, just parts flying and cars everywhere. It's just unfortunate way to end your night too. I mean, if you got a fast repair and you can make it back to the pits, you got another shot at this. But you know, if you've already used your fresh repair from the first wreck, this is gonna end your night.
Yeah, and it'd be tough if this ends a few of the nights out there for the drivers. I know a lot of people don't look at Daytona and Talladega and circle them on their list. A lot of them just kind of want to get them over with and out of the way, just because you never know. Just as we seen right there, front of the field, you think you're safe. Just a little bit of an offset bump, and around you go, and you bring a ton of cars with you. A lot of very good cars getting caught up in that one. That's a tough one to swallow there.
Looks like our top 5 is going to consist of number 2 of Hayes Booth, 40 car of Jeff Napier, 53 of Steve Murdoch, the 02 of Thomas McMullen, and 56 of Will Jones.
And you know, Justin, looking out there at the timing and scoring and seeing all the cars down there beating and banging on their machines, we have had a ton of drivers.
Looks like it's going to be 2, the 40, 71, 53, and 02.
Yeah, all of those drivers staying out on out on the track. Steve Murdoch and Thomas McMullen actually, I believe, did hit pit road, as my timing and scoring may be a little bit off, showing them with just one lap on their tires. We'll have to wait and see if that got sorted out when we had a little bit of technical issues. Got that all worked out, figured out. And, we're back at it. And look at that, though, Justin. It's almost a ghost town out there on the track. Very, very early here tonight. Lap 15 out of the 80 scheduled for tonight's official race distance. Stage number 1 will end on lap 25. We've got 11 laps to go before we have our first stage break. Who's got what it takes to keep their machine at the front of the field? We'll have to wait and find out, as the field is double file heading off into turn number 3.
Looks like a lot of guys coming in from the pits out to the field here. I don't know how much damage they have, but they're going to make every effort they can to get back into it.
Yeah, and I mean, you're kind of forced into that hand. You got to go out there and get what you can get and grab all that you can grab. No matter how damaged you are, you got to soldier on. Pace truck making that left-hand turn, waiting for the green flag to fly once again here at Daytona International Speedway, and Hayes Booth fires off, hitting the loud pedal, and away he goes. Jeff Napier out there with a good start on the outside, has the 71 of Alan Dufries down there on his inside. Steve right there trying to give Napier a push to see if he can get him to the front. My goodness, it's a two-car breakaway out there on the outside. Nobody out there trying to get to the front. My goodness, cars scattering everywhere down the backstretch.
Man, that outside line just shot around Hayes Booth like a rocket.
And I think that's a little bit to do with the 71 down. Dufries not really tucked up on the back of Booth to make that bottom lane surge forward. Now looks like everybody dropping to that inside lane. Your top 7 all single file on the bottom. Roy Hyde making a big splash, big move here tonight. 7th spot.
Well, you know, I guess I'm going to have to buy him that Father's Day gift. I mean, here he is leading Daytona. So, I guess that's just proof I got to do it now.
You might just have to do that. We're going to go down on board with one of our cameras. You asked for it, you've got it. The 53 of Steve Murdoch. Let's go on board, see what he's doing inside that car with his hands. My goodness, that's an interesting little helmet there. Eyes wide open, gripping the wheel tight. There you see Steve Murdoch trying to get the job done. We'll go high above his car now as we look at that rear bumper of the 40 of Jeff Napier. Murdoch trying to get there. Will he be able to do anything with it, or will he stay there? Napier drifts up to the top. Can he come down? Oh, just in front of Murdoch as we continue down the backstretch. That could have been a little close for comfort for some of these drivers.
We got 74. Mike, he's taking the high side. I think he's waving on that 2 car. He's like, come on, let's do this.
And the field is now beginning to group itself back together. We've seen a lot of the field stretch themselves out, but now that accordion effect starting to take place, and we're seeing the runs get a little bigger on that high lane, as now looks like the 53 of Steve Murdoch, he's going to jump to actually the 58 of Ryder Struve, jumping to that outside line to try to help Yellow Jr. in Hayes Booth on now dropping to the bottom.
I think Ryder saw what they were doing. He was like, hey, let me join that party.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. We got David Bradford, Will Jones, and Chris Mathis all coming right up on Ryder.
All coming with a head of steam, and I think this is a product of the stage end coming very, very soon. Lap number 20, as we've got some seasoned veterans, some championship contenders, drivers that have shot at it at the end of season number 1, right there trying to surge, trying to see if they can't go to the stage early here in Daytona.
That 2 car is right on top of that 74 car. A little too close for comfort there.
Mathis abandoning ship, dropping to the bottom, leaving Bradford and Jones on the outside. I'm sure he's going to be stuck now just behind, I believe that is Thomas McMullen in the 02. No scratch. That very, very similar, giving my eyes a little bit of an issue.
Look at Chris Mathis. He wants a stage win. He wants this. I mean, he is moving. He is side drafting and everything.
He's got a couple more laps to get the job done, and there you see it. If you want to get there, you got to know how to do it and when to do it. You got enough time to secure the top spot and keep it before the end of stage number 1. Now looks like Will Jones is going to try the same thing as that 18 of Mathis, now pulling even with your leader. He does not have any slot down third in line off of turn 2. Looks like he's gonna. Will Jones with a big run off of 2. Back to the outside once again goes Mathis. Now Hayes Booth going with him. That's gonna slow down that 74 machine on the inside, but Jeff Napier right there coming to his aid. He'll be there, but he'll be too late as Hayes Booth drops to the bottom and takes over the race lead.
He left Chris Mathis out there in the dry. Here comes Will Jones. Maybe he'll work with him.
My. Just at the restart, we were nice and calm. It was kind of like a tornado out there. You could see it rolling over the plains, and then all of a sudden, boom, the action was there. We watched these drivers build it up. Now, on lap 23, big time action at the front. Your front 4 all side by side. Hayes Booth trying to fight off that 18 of Chris Mathis. Mathis has help with Jones, the 74 of Yellow Jr. right there. Booth, who's got what it takes to push their line to the front, and it looks like Hayes Booth gonna lead another lap here tonight.
There's Mr. Where he come from? Case and Plot. Oh, they're going 3 wide with the lap car.
Everybody clear in a way, no problem. Still side by side for your race lead coming towards the conclusion of stage number 1. And I'm not sure if it's going to fly when we hit 25 or at the completion. So this is going to be one heck of a battle, whether it's just right here to the line for one more time around for the Superior Class Auto Racing presented by Mug Root Beer here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Chris Mathis leading the field to the line. We continue, green flag, no caution just yet. Field makes their way are staying high off of turn number 2. Field clears the lap car and they stay side by side. Caution for the stage is out. Gonna be an interesting call on who won that stage there.
I'm gonna say if it's by who crossed the line, it's gonna be Chris Mathis all day long. I mean, I really had no idea he had the head of steam to go all the way to the front like that. It looked like he lost it, but he got the side draft and did everything he could, and he got right back up there with Will Jones' help.
Absolutely, that was one heck of a job for sure. So we'll let the field catch up to the back of the pace car, and then we'll get things sorted out, figured out who was your stage number 1 winner. And I'm with you. I think it's going to be that 18 of Chris Mathis, but him and Hayes Booth, that was quite a battle there for a moment. But give that stage win to that 18 machine.
Man, you could definitely tell when the stage was coming to an end. Just like I said earlier, I mean, it's gonna get calm and then it's gonna get exciting. And boy, what a run was that! I mean, from that whole group, they come from mid-pack all the way to the front.
Yeah, when you really want to go, you got to push the envelope a little bit harder, and you got to be willing to actually push the car in front of you. And we seen when those drivers kind of locked bumpers, they took off to the front. Then some great side drafting by that 18 machine. He was able to pass a few more cars and put himself in position to walk away with the stage number 1 win. Field all looks like they're going to come down pit road. The only driver staying out was, I believe, that 74 of Yellow Jr. Not sure about the strategy call here, but the field is going to make their way down pit road. We're going to take a brief commercial break. We'll be back here at Daytona International Speedway. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us here on Turn 3 Racing Network Field. Double file as the lights on the Chevy Silverado have went out. That means we will go back green flag racing this time. By was going to try to sneak in an interview with your stage 1 winner, Chris Mathis, but unfortunately not going to be able to. Had to pay some bills. Went a little bit long on us there, but we're back for the important stuff, and that's the green flag racing here tonight from Daytona International Speedway. Man, I can't wait to see what stage number 2 will hold for us. Field making their way off of turn number 4. Base truck making the left-hand turn. When will the 74 fire off? Getting to the restart box now, and away he goes. Green flag back in the air once again here at Daytona International Speedway to begin lap number 29 out of the 80 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. 52 laps remaining as Hayes Booth drops down off the elevator right down in front of that 74 at the now. All alone on that outside is that 53 of Ryder Struve.
Yeah, Hayes Booth had a great restart on that. And we got Mike going outside saying, no, I want the lead back.
What a great way to start stage number 2. Excuse me. Oh my goodness, getting choked up over here. Great way to start stage number 2. A little puffed up slow by one of your leaders there. Not sure if it was an engine issue or just a little bit of a glitch issue. Nonetheless, that 2 of Hayes Booth continues to run that double yellow, trying to snatch the lead back away. The 33 of Brian Muskell Jr. just now working his way off of pit road after a very long stop. He's going to find himself being scored the first car 1 lap down early here in stage number 2.
Looks like Steve Murdoch actually has a little bit of front end damage there, but he's keeping it nice and tucked under the 74 of Mike. Therefore, it's not affecting him much.
And once again, we see that 7-up machine of Will Jones right there inside lane. 4th car back, and look at that stage. The 18 of Chris Mathis just to his outside. Brian Littleton right there into this first group. We've got a second group back there. Cruz also back there. Mark Truxell, Jason Spear, Darrell Spear, and both of the Bakers. All 3 of them. It's a triple threat back there. 19th, 20th, and 21st. All of those drivers hanging with each other right now, about 2 seconds off of your race leader.
Looks like Kason Paw and Chris Mathis and Will Jones are real hungry early on in this stage. They're all top line here trying to work their way up. Oh, Kason Paw, a little bit of the wall right there, making it 3 wide with Jeff Napier and Steve Murdoch.
And 3 wide up here towards the front of the field. The first car 1 lap down there. You see him right here in the mix with your front 3. Yellow Jr., Booth, and Struve breaking away from the field, still hugging that double yellow line. But don't look now. Plot Mathis right there on that outside line trying to make it work. Will Jones trying to see get up there and put his nose in it as well.
And we have this front group that's quite organized, but behind them it's kind of just a little bit disorganized, to be honest with you. A couple cars with 1 second in between, and maybe a little too wide. That's about it.
Yeah, it looks like things are beginning to calm down just a little bit here, and while that starts to happen, we're going to head down trackside, bring you some of the sights and sounds here from Daytona International Speedway with our turn it up. What a great way to watch the race. Close and personal action out there tonight. Turn it up here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Justin, that don't get your blood pumping, I don't know what will.
Man, I'm over here about to have a heart attack from the excitement, man. Them cars just sound amazing. When they're racing side by side, there is just nothing better in the world than that.
While we were watching the cars and listening to all the great sounds here from Daytona International Speedway, Will Jones was able to go up there and steal the top spot away. He finds himself just in front of the 18 of Chris Mathis. Hayes Booth still right there behind them. Lapped car on the outside, staying out of the way of your leaders. No harm, no foul, no problem. Your top 6 make their way on by as we continue green flag racing here at Daytona International Speedway. Lap number 38 out of 80. We're creeping in, Justin. Stage number 2.
Yeah, I definitely like what 33 of Brian Mescal Jr. is doing there. He's actually going to be your lucky dog if the stage ends under green.
That's a big if, though, Justin. Remember, Brian Mescal Jr. was leading the field. Ended up in the big one, and that's when all his trouble started, and now he finds himself a little bit behind the 8 ball.
I'll tell you what, if he gets his luck dog, he's going to be back up front real quick. I mean, he looks extremely strong out there right now.
Will Jones leading the inside lane, the 18 of Chris Mathis leading the outside lane. Kasem Plott out there pushing. Can he get Mathis clear? Not going to be able to do it. Hayes Booth in company surge that 56 back to the front as they work their way through the center of 3 and 4. Back across the line this time by. We have 41 laps remaining here tonight in the Red Dot Storage 200.
We definitely have a second group kind of coming together here with David Bradford leading and Mark Truxell. We've got big hitters like Bobby Hampton Jr. in there, Thomas McMullen, Colt Ansley, Quentin Murdoch, who was our fastest guy in practice, and even now in the freeze.
And you can see that second pack side by side battling back here. That is from about 10th on back, trying to get up there and mix it up, see if they can't run down this front back of stage number 2, Brian Littleton, now leading this second pack. So going to be interesting to see if they can make up 5 seconds. That is a big time gap to make up in just 10 laps.
Looks like they're all starting to work towards the bottom. They're like, all right, guys, let's catch back up now.
Yeah, it looks like that side-by-side battle back there in the second pack has kind of fizzled out as Brian Littleton still getting hit. Bobby Hamilton Jr., Thomas McMullen, Alan Dufries, all back. But let's go back up where we've got a battle for the race lead. The 74 of Yellow Jr. They're trying to take that top spot away from the 56 of Will Jones. That 74 has led the most laps so far out there tonight. It has 14 in the bag, and the man just behind him in the lap category, Brian Maskell Jr., right there in the pack, but being scored the first car 1 lap down.
Our first place is going to be Mike right here. He just took the bottom line with Hayes Booth helping him out. Coming down to 38 to go. We've had 3 cautions tonight, contending of 9 laps.
Yeah, and that 74, he was able to utilize the push and Hayes Booth followed with him and dropped right down. Now we see 2 cars switching lanes here. Will Jones and Murdoch go to the top. They're going to reverse the roles and see if they can go up there and get by Yellow Jr. and Booth on the bottom the same way that it was done to them. Now a 3-wide battle with the 53 of Steve Murdoch left high and dry on the outside all alone. That's going to cost Murdoch some position as your top 6 still run side by side. Roy Hyde right there behind Steve Murdoch. He'll pick him up and bring him to the rear bumper of Brian Maskell Jr. and that 33 was going to make his way up to the front of the field. See if he can unlap himself the good old-fashioned way, or if he's just willing to sit there and get the lucky dog when we have the end of stage number 2 coming up in just about 6.5 laps.
As you can see, that 58 of Ryder seemed to hit the apron there, got a little loose. He caught the car, and he's now back on the backstretch trying to catch up.
Yeah, and that's a tough break. About 8 seconds off of your race leader, 10 seconds almost off of the last car in that second pack, the 77 of Joshua Baker. So screwed. And that may put Brian Maskell Jr. in jeopardy of losing that lucky dog position. But if this lead pack can catch up to Ryder Struve, then I think Brian Maskell Jr. may have enough to work his way on by, and he may have enough just to go ahead and unlap himself here. Running third car inside lane, now looking to the outside. Will Jones gonna go with him. Hayes Booth decides to jump out there, try to take the race lead. Will he drop down off the elevator going into turn number 1? He's well and clear now. Gonna stay to the outside lane. Brian Maskell Jr. sticks to that middle lane.
I think he's trying to get his lap back. Yeah, he's getting his lap back. How about that?
And I know Brian Maskell Jr., a big fan of the old school movement, if you will. The 87 Monte Carlos being introduced here on iRacing.com, the world's #1 racing simulator. All the cars and tracks scanned to laser precision. Big fan of those old school tracks. So getting his lap back the old school way by passing the leader himself. He's going to try to keep himself in front of the field. When the end of stage number 2 happens, he'll be able to come up, catch the field, pit with them, and be all good and well, not have to start from the field. Pick up a position or 2 with a great pit stop. Will Jones now looking to the outside, going to spoil the show. But Brian Maskell Jr. going to hold tight on that yellow line now. no help as the field moves to the outside lane and around that 33, putting him back 1 lap down.
Yeah, you know, you was sitting there waiting for a caution, like, please come out, please come out, please come out.
It's the old caution curse. When you want them, you don't get them, and when you don't need them, that's when they fly.
Now look at Will Jones and Case and Pot just looking strong in the lead right here.
Yeah, very, very strong strong move by your top two. Brian Mescal Jr., they brought the 74 with them, but have since built a little bit of a gap. And when I say little, I mean less than 1/10 of a second now. Yellow Jr. looking to the outside. He's got Hayes Booth in tow. Chris Mathis, don't look now. Stage 1 winner. He's right there. Third car outside lane. Look for him to make some moves as we get ready to cross the line. We'll have 2 laps to go here in stage number 2 before our stage break. Man, I tell you what, it's getting heated once again up here at the front.
If you look a little further back, that second group has definitely organized themselves. At least the top first 5 or 6 cars are all right in line with each other.
Yeah, all those cars in this second pack all lined up, all on the bottom lane. Just a few of them, I believe it is about 3 out there on the outside lane still, but it's going to be a little too late to get up there and try to challenge for the stage win as we see the 85 of Jason Baker make his way by Brian Littleton. He's got 3 cars in tow with him. So battle going on at the front, battle going on at the rear. We'll rejoin the battle up at the front of the field as Will Jones still has your race lead lap number 50. When will the stage caution fly? Your top 4 make their way off of turn number 2 side by side. It's a drag race down the back stretch. Who's going to get to turn 3 first? I believe the 74 gets to turn 3 first, but Will Jones now surging on the bottom with help from Plot. Will that be the run he needs? Looks like it's going to be. Caution flies for the end of stage number 2, and Will Jones going to walk away with the stage win. So we've had 2 different stage winners so far out here tonight, and Justin, I think we may end up with a different driver in victory lane as well.
It's starting to look like it. I definitely feel a little bad for Chris Mathis on that run right there. Him and the 2 car were coming on the front straightaway, and 2 car got into him just enough to spin him out. He received no damage.
And it looks like the big recipient here able to get his lap back is going to be that 33 of Brian Mescal Jr. So he'll rejoin the field on the lead lap. Going to have to start at the rear of the field for getting the lucky dog, but I'm sure he'd rather have his lap back as opposed to the track position. Doesn't mean very much if you're at the front, but you're a lap down.
I definitely think you're going to see him again. He's been very strong all night long.
Yeah, very, very strong in the early stages of tonight's race. Still, the second car with the most laps led. So Brian Mescal Jr., very fast machine out there in his 33 Dirty Mo Chevy Z01 Camaro. So look for him to make some moves here later on in the race. He stays out to receive the lucky dog. Field going to make their way down pit road. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take another quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on Turn 3 Racing Network.
We got big time problems with that motor, buddy. Hey, just between you and me, the idea is to avoid the other cars. Congratulations! You just set the sport back 30 years with that move. That move will put you in the Hall of Shame. You keep doing stuff like that and we're going to lose our sponsor. Looks like that's it for us today. Now I know why you got canned by your old team. It's over. We can't fix that damage. to tow you back to pit lane, press and hold your reset button and we'll come and get you.
Thanks for staying with us here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Glad you could all join us. It's been one heck of a night up here in the booth for myself, David World, calling all the action. Got my good buddy Justin Napier up here with me as well this week. Want to give a big shout out to all of our sponsors out there. Red Dot Storage sponsoring tonight's Red Dot Storage 200. Also want a big shout out to Mug Root Beer sponsoring Superior Class Auto Racing here on iRacing.com. First Horizon, Cameron Hagman Photography. Am I leaving anybody out there, Justin?
Oh, we cannot forget about Little Tate's Cupcakes now.
That is right, Cakes and Cake Sickles. I tell you what, if I lived closer, the Truxell family would be very rich because I have got a very bad sweet tooth.
I would gain about 20 more pounds just looking at it.
I would gain probably another 75 if my short body frame could hold it. Nonetheless, Pace Truck gonna duck off this time by. We'll get set to fire off the final stage here tonight. Green flag flies, and we're racing in the final stage. Will Jones gets a good restart. The 74 of Iello Jr. gets a good start, but he's all alone. Hayes Booth right there on the back of Jones as they'll prevail now with a big gap. That's going to allow that 74 to drop to the bottom. Roy Hyde in that 13 machine now making a move. He's up there, third, fourth car now inside lane. He's brought that 80 of Brian Littleton with him as well.
He's definitely been slow and steady all night long. You know, he's just been right there all night long, right behind the front pack. I think he's about to start making some moves.
Right, he has been slowly but surely. I mean, a little chunk. Now he finds himself fourth car inside lane as the 25 of Bobby Hamilton Jr. Power move around the outside. The 74 sees it, jumps up, stalls the run just a little bit. Now can he utilize that help from the 25? Side crafting off of the 13. Down the back stretch, your top two starting to pull even with the leaders on the bottom. Drag race into turn number 3, still side by side for your top 4 spots.
Coming down to 25 to go. It's starting to look a little racy here, boys.
Yes, it is, and Bobby Hamilton Jr. want to give a shout out to him. He's out there in a newer paint scheme. Haven't really noticed it here tonight. Bobby playing it kind of safe, if you will. Where did he come from is right, because the closer has came to the front right here running. Second car outside lane in the 4th position, depending on where. And man, I tell you what, that is a big time jump. Remember, just before the end of stage number 2 here, Justin, he was one of those drivers back there in that second pack, more than 7 seconds behind your race leader. Now he is leading that outside lane.
74, Mike just dropped down the bottom, left him up there. Let's see if Steve Murdoch can help Bobby get up to the front.
Yeah, it looks like the pushing's starting to get a little bit harder. These drivers begin to wiggle around just a little bit more. Want to go back and spotlight another driver real quick. Brian Maskell Jr., he's making his way back up through the field. He received the lucky dog. He was your pole sitter here for tonight's Red Dot Storage 200. He finds himself in the 17th position, right back there in some good company. Got the 5 of Mark Truxell in front of him. Kason Plott to his outside, and Chris Mathis right there running with him as well. So 33 to make some more moves. Meanwhile, back at the front, look at that surgeon on the outside. Bobby Hamilton Jr. and Steve Murdoch trying to get up there and take the race. Steve Murdoch getting some air to his machine, not wanting to pop the engine here in front of the field. Was that 25 as the Yellow Junior surges once again off of turn number 2.
And there's a couple more guys that, you know, they've been riding in the back all night long, and here they are. I mean, we got 85 of Jason D. Baker. I mean, here he is on the outside row. David Bradford, here he is. A lot of these guys are coming to the front now. They're ready to go.
They definitely played the safe card through the first 2/3 of this race as we cross the line this time by to begin lap 59 out of the 80 scheduled here tonight in the official race distance. 22 laps remaining. National Speedway. It is going to be a barn burner for sure. We're going to go now with one of our onboard cameras down there on track with that 53 of Steve Murdoch, second car outside lane. There you see him pushing on that 25 of Bobby Hamilton Jr. down into turn number 3. Big shout out to our onboard camera sponsor, the Little Tate's Cupcakes. And I tell you what, we talked about it a minute ago, and I tell you their business would be booming if I was in town, that's for sure. Now back on board with that 46 of David Bradford running in the outside lane, 9th position. Now make it 10th on the track as your top 12. All side by side, still working their way down the backstretch. Huge run here by Bradford.
I'm sitting over here eating my Little Tate's Cupcakes, drinking a mug of root beer, and I'm freaking out here, man. It's getting racy. We got Chris Mathis back up here. I mean, everybody's here.
Getting racy indeed. 20 laps to go now. Trophy here tonight in the Red Dot Storage 200 outside lane. 3 wide as Bradford goes to the middle. That's going to leave. Who is that left out there high and dry? Can't see all the cars in the way. Can't see the number. That's the 85 right there. Jason Baker getting shuffled back through the field after a move to go 3 wide. Looks like Hayes Booth thinking about going 3 wide as well. But they're going to fizzle on down back to just side-by-side racing as they make their way off of turn number 4 back through the trioval.
Can you believe this is 20 to go? I mean, 20 to go, guys. And we're racing this way.
Yeah, a very, very effective race out there tonight. We've had, I believe, let's know for sure, we've had 3 cautions out here tonight. Keep in mind, 2 of those have been for the stage end, so only 1 real caution out there tonight. These drivers beginning to mix it up even more. Bobby Hamilton Jr. getting a little bit squirrely at the front of the field with a big time push of the Yellow Jr. His 74 running second car outside lane. Bradford Mathis lined up just behind them. Will Jones right there has Roy Hyde in the 13 pushing on his rear bumper for the first time tonight. And it looks like that VA is ready to go on that inside lane.
It's definitely coming down to the case scenario of who's your friends. I mean, we know who are teammates, but who's your friends?
Well, Justin, if any of these drivers have my kind of mindset and mentality, the last lap, I have no friends. It's all about whether I can win it or not. If you're, you know what I meant. If you're not first, you're last, or something like that. Ricky Bobby said it.
Well, we got Bobby Hamilton Jr. taking the lead right now on the bottom side over Will Jones. You got Roy right on Will Jones' bumper right there. I said he was going to make some moves this run. Here he is.
And we've seen it. Oh, car a little bit out of shape down there on the apron. Surface with no problem. Field still double file most of the way through the field. And Bobby Hamilton Jr. now taking over the lead still on the backstretch inside lane. Will Jones right there on his bumper, but the 74 with a big surge after a big push by Bradford going into turn 3. Mathis right there, just a half a car back. To that 46 of Bradford, now the inside lane. The surge forward once again here at Daytona International Speedway.
This is anybody's game right here. I mean, just everybody's taking the lead, you know, 1 leader after another.
Yeah, we've had seven different leaders. I'm sure if I bring up the graphics once again, and as a matter of fact, we'll just go ahead and do it for giggles here. Look at the lead changes. 18 lead changes between 7 different drivers, and that's just the ones that timing and scoring is counting. I'm sure there was a somewhere throughout the night that maybe timing and scoring just didn't catch the 74 of Yellow Jr. dropping to the bottom in front of Bobby Hamilton Jr. That's going to put David Bradford leading that outside lane in his Dr. Pepper Ford. And I tell you what, it is a Ford-dominated front of the field right now. I believe that is 4 out of the top 5 are all Fords, just 1 Toyota. That was Chris Mathis running in that 5th position.
I guarantee you, here in a minute, here in about another lap or 2, you're going to start seeing guys from the back that just waited and waited, and here they come.
Speaking of here, they come. Brian Skill Jr. in his 33 machine. There you see him just behind that 80 of Brian Littleton on the inside lane, running in 13th position now. Remember, he got the lucky dog at the end of stage number 2 with less than 30 laps remaining. And he's been able to drive his team almost inside of that top 10. Now Bobby Hamilton dropping down the elevator back to the front of the line on the inside lane. David Bradford now, big surge after a massive push by the 18. That's going to clear not only Bradford, but Mathis. Both of those cars drop down right in front of Bobby Hamilton Jr. The 85 of Jason Baker now leads that outside lane.
A little bit of contact between 56 and 32. We haven't talked about 32 much tonight. His name is Daryl Spear. And look at him drive to the front.
It's just absolutely amazing to see how some of these drivers, the time is right, they pull the trigger, and away they go. Daryl Spear, also one of those drivers in the rear of the field for the majority of the race now, making a splash when the time comes and when it matters the most at the end of the race, running right there. So, heck of a job. Big shout out to Spear and his crew. Positioning the car where it needs to be here in the closing stages of the Red Dot 200.
I think Chris Mathis trying to do a back-to-back here. He wants this.
Almost your entire field side by side working their way through 1 and 2 once again, or at least I believe that is back down this very, very long backstretch. And, well, having given it to you all night, let's go with one of our Turn 3 fan cams. A great shot there at the entry of pit road, and I really, really love that camera. Justin, quick story about it before we get back to this great racing action we've got a caution wreck on the entry to the triover, or backstretch, I should say. My goodness, that's got a lot of cars caught up in it. We'll take a look back here with our Turn 3 replay. And 2, everything looks okay as of right now. 3 wide for just a brief moment. That shakes back out to 2 wide. Everything going all right. And, oh, just a big missed time bump there by that 85. And around a lot of other cars go. That's going to spell some trouble for a lot of drivers out there tonight. We'll take another look back at it from high above with our Turn 3 blimp cam. And there you see the contact between the 85 and the 74. He goes around and that catches a lot of other drivers out. Roy Hyde caught up in it. Brian Muskell Jr., I believe, caught up in it as well into that inside wall. So tough night for him after recovering very good. He's going to have a rough into tonight's race. As man, it's going to be a wild one here, Justin. It's going to be crazy coming to this end of the race.
I mean, we got 10 laps to go, and we just had another big one. And a lot of strong drivers just got knocked out. I mean, we lost Brian and Mike. So it's like the competition, where's it going to be at tonight?
I don't know, man, but I tell you what, I wouldn't bet against that 25 of Bobby Hamilton Jr., man. He has made a tear through the field. Doesn't look like anybody's going to hit pit road. Keep in mind, we do have 3 attempts at a green, white, checkered should we need it. These drivers all been out there for at least 20 laps. Your top 8 staying out on track, been out on track for the last 20 laps. So I wonder if fuel may be a concern. 9 laps remaining. We'll have about 7 when we go back. Green flag racing here tonight for Superior Class Auto Racing presented by Mug Root Beers. Red Dot Storage 200. And man, Justin, I tell you, I'm almost sweating over here. The action has gotten crazy good here in this final stage.
You know, as bad as wrecking is, if I was about mid-pack, backpack, and that happened and I drove through it, you know, that's a lottery ticket right there, man. I mean, you just gained 10, 12 positions. Now you can see the leaders clear as day. And if your car's clean, you got a chance here.
Absolutely. If you've got some straight fenders on the car, you're in it, and you could possibly win it. I've seen drivers in worse shape than straight be able to pull some phenomenal moves off and make their way to a victory lane here at Daytona International Speedway. But don't count out the drivers sitting in 3rd and 4th position. Those are your 2 stage winners. And sitting exactly how they won, Chris Mathis won stage number 1. Will Jones walking away with stage number 2. And they are 3rd and 4th in the field right now, running in 5th. The 88 of Channing Blue, 6th, Kasim Plott, 7th, Thomas McMullen, 8th, Joshua Baker, Hayes Booth in 9th, and Jeff Napier rounding out your top 10.
I gotta give Jeff a little bit of credit. I mean, not only because he's my dad, but he was running up there pretty good. It looked like he hit the apron and lost his position, but look at him here. He's coming right back to the front.
On a big moment there for a driver coming off of pit road, able to just get out in front of the pace car. That was the 78 of J.D. Baker. He was able to barely keep himself on the lead lap, and that is a big-time moment because now he's still got a shot at this thing, even though he's going to be lining up towards the rear of the field. That 78 is going to be able to catch up, and he'll have a shot at it. When it's all said and done, pace truck lights are out. We'll get ready to go back. Green flag racing this time by to begin lap 74 out of 80 scheduled here tonight. 8 laps remaining right now, 7 when we cross the line. And Justin, I'm going to put you on spot. Who you got?
Shoot, that's a hard question there. You know, I was talking about that lotto ticket winner. Well, your lotto ticket winner tonight was Kasim Plott. I was sitting there watching him. He was right exactly where I said he was going to be, a little further back, mid-pack. That wreck happened. He shot down the bottom, cleared everybody. Now look at him. He's in 6th, excuse me.
All right, well, I'm not going to give mine because I always jinx my drivers when I call them out. I'll let you know if I was right but I'm just not going to say it. Pace Truck going to make the left-hand turn. We'll get ready to fire this thing off once again. David Bradford in the gas. Green flag. Once again here at Daytona International Speedway, Bobby Hamilton Jr. hanging right there on that right rear quarter, side drafting big time. Heading off into turn number 1. He's got help from the 56 of Will Jones. Kasem Plott right there. Third car outside lane. The inside prevailing just a little bit with that push from Mathis. And just behind him is the 88 of Shane. So that 88 making a splash as well. Oh, and around a lot of drivers go. Channing Ballou also caught up in this latest one as he slides to a stop in his first Horizon Ford Mustang. We'll take a look back here on our turn 3 replay. Trying to see what happens here, make some sense out of it all. Everything looks okay right now. No problems, no harm, no foul, and a big push. Oh, big push on that outside lane, and Bobby Hamilton Jr. caught up. A lot of drivers caught up. That's going to tear up a ton of cars as we see front clips flipping down the track. That's never a good sign.
You know, you had me call out Kasem Plott there for my race winner, and he gets caught up in that, man. I'm going to say it was your fault.
You can't blame me. You said it.
Well, you asked.
Oh, and that was just a push gone wrong. Looked like the cars were pretty much squared up from the blimp view here. We'll back it up one more time, let the viewers make a decision for themselves, but everything looked okay. Big push right here from Jones on the back of Hamilton Jr., and they just go to that outside wall, rips the bumper off, and then along for the ride goes Plott. Will Jones spinning through the field. There goes a front clip flipping down into turn number 3. So chaos and carnage late here at Daytona with just 6 laps remaining. Now we will rejoin the race up at the front with your race leader, David Bradford, as he is caught up to that Chevy Silverado pace truck.
I was actually about to talk about Chan Ballou there in the first Horizon Bank car. You know, he's been awful quiet tonight and, you know, put himself in the right position at the right time. Just, unfortunately, was in the right position at the wrong time.
Yeah, that one is going to go down as the big one or the most catastrophic one for a lot of drivers out there tonight. Going to go through some quick house cleaning. 26 drivers scheduled for the start here tonight. We've got 14 left on the lead lap. Multiple drivers caught up in this latest incident. The 58 of Ryder Struve being shown as the first car 1 lap down in the 15th position. Thomas McMullen, Will Jones, J.D. Baker, Bobby Hamilton Jr. all being scored 1 lap down as well. Baker and Hamilton Jr. days are done with. Cars behind the wall being pushed back into the hauler. Colt Ansley, Roy Hyde, Darrell Spear, all 3 laps down, but still running on the track. Spear still in pit lane, beating and banging away on his machine. Mickey Spear right there, 4 laps down. Brian Meskel Jr., after the, not this incident, but the previous one, finds himself 5 laps down, still on pit road, trying to improve his 24th position.
Lots of cars of lots of various kinds of damage. You know, a lot of nose damage. A couple cars with like very little damage, just missing hoods. You know, I just wonder how this is all going to affect the coming 2 laps. You know, is the damaged car going to be able to hold the lead? Is he going to have to just tuck in behind somebody else and deal with it?
I think we're going to see what we've seen on YouTube. Not quite sure of the guy's name, but you've heard him say, just send it. I think that's what a few of them may just have to do if they're going to want to do anything as far as improving their finishing position. Channing Ballou looks like he was actually able to get his machine fixed up pretty well, sitting in the 5th position. There you see him going underneath our camera, high above the track in turn 3 and 4. Or, I'm sorry, that's turn 1 and 2. So his machine not looking too horrible out there.
I'm going to assume that he probably had a quick repair left. We still got the 2-car Hayes Booth there. He's been fast all night long. He's been up front all night long.
And Chris Mathis right there as well still. David Bradford, Joshua Baker, Hayes Booth, Steve Murdoch. He's been up there all race long as well, Justin. So it's good to see some different names up here at the front. And what do you think if Joshua Baker could steal away a race win here?
I'd say he'd have to go get himself a little taste cupcake, huh?
You better go get him something to celebrate, that's for sure. All right, go ahead.
He's definitely put himself in the right position. I mean, he's sitting there right behind the leader.
Yeah, right there as the pace car makes the left-hand turn. Field back on the gas. Bradford clears by a mile. That might not be the best strategy here. Getting too far out front can be an issue. Catch up with him very, very quick. Which way will he go? Which lane will he block? Down there. A side lane covered, 1 car on the outside. That is Jeff Napier on the outside trying to make it work. Oh, and around goes another car down off of the racing surface on the apron. No caution flies. We stay green flag racing. And man, we've spoke about him very briefly here, Justin. And look at the man running in the 6th position right there behind Baker. Mark Truxell in that 5 making an appearance very late. 2 laps remain here at Daytona International Speedway.
You know, and we were just talking about it. That Cannon Blue in that First Horizon Bank car, I mean, just shot up there like a rocket. I mean, just took every opportunity and made it work. Now he's running second right behind David Bradford. Here comes Mark Truxell, though. He's looking strong. Everybody here is looking really good. We got a second line foreman on the high side here with Cannon Blue leading it.
Yeah, Ballou made a big move to jump to the outside. Joshua Baker went with him. Looks like that's going to fizzle out just a little bit of traffic. Brings the field off of turn number 4. Take the white flag this time by to go tonight. Presented to you by Mug Root Beer here in the Red Hot Storage Team for Superior Class Auto Racing. Racing 3 wide through 1 and 2. Balloons in the middle, Booth at the top. Booth gonna lose some ground as Bradford continues to lead the field. 2 and 3 wide, fanning out down the backstretch. Drag race. Blocking a little bit is Bradford. Ballou with a great run. Not clear just yet. Now drops to the bottom to take the race lead. Will he lead the one and only lap that matters? Oh, contact the 77 up the track. Back across and towards the line, wrecking across the line. Bradford makes contact with Ballou. My goodness, that is one crazy little finish. We'll back it up one more time. I tell you what, we got to see that again. And there's the contact. More contact between Bradford and Ballou, and I believe Bradford's going to walk away with that race win. We'll take one more look at it. Try to catch it from the blimp cam as they cross the line, and yes, Bradford is going to walk away with the race win. Oh, by inches. And Hayes Booth almost grabbed it away as well. Mark Truxell with a great finish in 4th. Jason Baker going to walk away in 5th. That was one heck of a finish.
I definitely can't help, but I was over here screaming because I'm just sit there and watch my own dad just pretty much eat the freaking wall.
Oh, he ate it a ton, and luckily though, here on iRacing, not only can you get another car, but you ain't got to worry about making any trips to the ER, unless he, may break a wrist or two if you keep a hold of your wheel at times.
That was a great finish. I mean, that was about as exciting as it gets. I mean, it was really there was no idea who was going to win that one. It looked like it was going to be Channing. I thought Channing had that.
Yeah, absolute great finish to a great race here today. We're going to step away for a brief commercial break. We'll be right back with your post-race interviews here on Turn 3 Racing Network, being brought to you by First Horizon. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We will be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to the Daytona International Speedway. What a crazy finish to a great race once again here for Superior Class Auto Racing. My goodness, and we have had the opportunity to catch up with your race winner, sponsored by Little Tate's Cupcakes, David Bradford in the 46. How you doing, bud?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Man, just walk us through that. I won't even say last corner. Walk us through the final way through the tri-oval there, coming to the checkered flag.
I mean, he kind of just left the bottom open there and stuck my nose in there, and then we started just kind of getting forced down a little bit. I mean, to me, it's clean because, you know, we got the pictures right here saying, you know, my nose is in there before I went below the yellow. So, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens here, I guess.
All right, man. Well, I don't want to sway anybody's judgment or anything but myself. I don't know about you, Justin, but I didn't see anything wrong with the way that thing came across the line. Just some great hard-nosed racing. And, man, it's been a pleasure to talk to you again up here in Victory Lane. Justin, you got anything for David?
David, how was the whole race, man? I mean, you started out being pretty calm, and there at the end, I mean, there you are up front. Did you have any real struggles?
Yeah, I was riding in the back early on in the race and got tagged in the back trying to avoid a wreck. And I really thought I would have done the car in, but I guess the new damage model is actually working out pretty good. It doesn't look like I got too much damage back there. You know, other than that, you know, it's just restrictor plate racing at that point. You try and put yourself in a position to get up front to give yourself a shot to win. You know, what happened off 4 right there is he just left a little too much room, and I was able to get my nose in there. That's all it was.
Yeah, we talked about friends tonight. Who were your friends out there tonight?
I don't know, man. I was kind of all over the place. You know, Chris and me worked really good at the end there. Me and Bobby got up through there pretty good, pushed him by a couple people. It just seemed like everybody was working pretty good with everybody tonight.
That answers my questions there, Dave.
All right. Well, once again, David, man, a heck of a finish out there tonight, walking away with the race win. Before we let you go and celebrate, you want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that?
Yeah, I got to give a shout out, of course, to George, Dad, and everybody else that's watching the race for me. Getting our little viewer count up for our sponsors. Dr. Pepper, of course, for staying on. First Horizon, 7 Up. All them guys that help make it possible, man. This is fun, and that's why we do it.
All right, well, man, once again, congratulations, and we'll catch up with you in 2 weeks when we hit another track with high banks, but a little bit different. It's the Bull Ring, so to speak, the last great Coliseum, Bristol Motor Speedway. So, man, look forward to catching you there.
All right, guys, I appreciate it.
There you have it, some words from your race winner, the 46 of David Bradford. I believe we've had an opportunity to catch up with the driver walking away in second, sponsored by Mug Root Beer, and that's none other than that 88 of Channing Blue. How you doing? You got your ears on, bud?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear, Dave.
Man, what a race, what a finish, huh?
Yeah, it wasn't the result we were hoping for. We, got them strung out down the backstretch and got the lead, and just really had choked. I mean, didn't know I had the bottom cleared and didn't want to cause a wreck that late. Just trying to finish, and I could have blocked the bottom and won the race. But it's Daytona. It's a wild card. We'll just take second and move on.
Well, with you being so humble in the defeat and just ready to move on, what's your thoughts looking forward to when we hit the track at Bristol Motor Speedway in 2 weeks?
I like Bristol a lot. I don't know how it's going to handle with this new tire model they come out with, and this new damage is crazy. As you saw tonight, a lot of people were bumping, and it was barely spinning people and causing big collisions. So I think it's cool everything iRacing did, but it's definitely going to be different with the new tire model. Have to get to work at Bristol, but I think this league is growing. We're getting better. Still got to get better as a whole group, on some things, but Bristol should be a lot of fun. Point gap's closing a little bit. That's what we're really chasing after right now.
Well, my man, excuse me, once again, great job out there walking away with a second place finish. Before we let you go, though, Channing, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that?
Yeah, I got to thank everybody at Burnt Rubber Racing for all the help and I guess coaching they give me every week, and got a lot of great guys over there. Kaysen helping me with the push. Will was helping us a little bit this race. Got to thank everybody at SCAR too for allowing us to run and putting their time and effort into this. Got to definitely thank my wife for allowing me to do this as well. It's definitely something that I appreciate. Everybody that's helped out, appreciate it. Let's keep going.
All right, there you have it. Some final words from the driver finishing in the second position, sponsored by Mug Root Beer, your third place finisher. Sponsored by Cameron Hagman Photography, the 2 of Hayes Booth. Great job by Booth. He ran up front all race long, not able to get the job done at the end. Going to walk away in third. And man, Justin, it was one heck of a race.
Yeah, I'd like to thank you, Dave, for letting me come up here in the booth and give a shot at broadcasting. I'd like to thank our sponsors, and I'm by no means a professional broadcaster, but I just appreciate everybody at least giving me an opportunity to give it a shot.
Well, my man, I pray you are not putting me in the category as a professional, because I tend to mess things up from time to time, far away from being a Mike Joy, but I might be a Clint Boyer.
That's not a bad thing right there, man. That's a great dude right there.
Tell me about it. I'd like to go fishing with him. Boy, I'd like to do a ton of stuff with him. He'd be a fun guy on a weekend, I tell you what.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's time for me to hop out of the booth, guys. Good night, everybody.
All right, Justin. Well, I appreciate you coming up in the booth with me here tonight, devoting your time to calling some great racing action here at Daytona International Speedway. But anytime you want to come back, just shoot me a message, and we'll see if we can't get you plugged in and mic'd up and ready to go.
Thank you.
All right, nothing much more to do from us here at Turn 3 Racing Network except run through your finishing order for tonight's race, and it looks a little something like this. It still is on the unofficial side as we've got a little bit of things to sort out, but we'll give it to you how they are right now. Walking away with the race win, that 46 of David Bradford. Coming home in second, the 88 of Channing Ballou. Third place, the 2 of Hayes Booth, and in fourth, Mark Truxell. Fifth place, the 85 of Jason Baker, followed by the 80 of Brian Littleton. Seventh place goes to the 77 of Joshua Baker, and in eighth, the 83 of Jason Spear. Ninth place goes to the 40 of Jeff Napier, and the 00 of Quentin Murdoch. Gonna walk away in 10th, 11th, the 74 of Mike Iello Jr. 12th place, the 19 of Jason Plott, finishing in 13th, the 58 of Ryder Struve. 14th spot goes to the 18 of Chris Mathis after stage win number 1. Not able to repeat and get to victory lane here tonight, finishing in 14th spot. Rounding out your top 15, the 53 of Steve Murdoch, followed by the 86 of Colt Ansley. 17th position, the 23 of Mickey Spear. The 32 of Daryl Spear going to come home in 18th. 19th will be Thomas McMullen. 20th, the 78 of J.D. Baker. 21st position goes to your stage 2 winner, the 56 of Will Jones. Bobby Hamilton Jr. finishing in 22nd after a late surge in tonight's race. 23rd position, the 13 of Roy Hyde. Your pole sitter for tonight's Red Dot Storage 200, the 33 of Brian Muskell Jr. Gonna walk away in 24th. 25th position, the 71 of Alan Dufries, and rounding out the field here tonight, the 51 of Jay. One heck of a race, one heck of a finish all night long here on the Turn 3 Racing Network for Superior Class Auto Racing. Presented to you by Mug Root Beer. Want to thank each and every one of you for joining us each and every time we go live here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself or any of the other guys or girls back at the headquarters. And we surely appreciate it. If you haven't already, go ahead and give these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on Turn 3 Racing Network. And with that being said, nothing left to do for myself, Darkside Dave, up in the cave here. We'll catch you next time.